We had a little contest for artists to submit sketches of what they thought the new show should, what the fucking Apple podcast art should be. And very quickly, somebody accused me of taking advantage of artists because I said I would get them free tickets and I would pay them to, like, if we use your art.
Free tickets to what?
To comedy shows. I said, listen, send the art in.
Yeah.
By the way, fully expecting we're using none of it. And guess what we're using? None of it.
Right.
And I fully expected that. He's saying, hey, send the art in, because here's the thing. The way art works, a lot of these people look at all the other things I've done. That doesn't matter.
Right.
Your portfolio doesn't matter. I can still bomb. If you watch my special or you see me do something and you go, oh, that was funny, I liked him. And then you come see me and I bomb, I can still ruin your night by bomb. So if I think your portfolio is great, it doesn't mean that you're going to do something that I like.
Well, I mean, that is the only way you can go. I mean,
no, a sketch. You have to submit a sketch of what. Yeah. You got to give me an idea where you're going.
Sure.
So, and then if I was going to use the sketch,
right, I
will compensate you monetarily. Okay. But if
they send anything in and you don't use it, you'll still give them tickets.
No. No. What kind of, no, Ocasio-Cortez. No, people are sending stick figures in of me going, Epstein did 9/11, which I liked that one.
Right.
But you're not getting free tickets for sending it in. If I choose your art.
Well, here's the thing.
No, there is no thing, but go on.
Well, I'm agreeing with you because you want to start culling your fan base now. Because killing
them or culling them,
give or take. My point is, you want a loyal mercenary fan base. You want like a pest army, if you will. You want somebody you can people who will be like in for the 10-year run. You don't want people oh, you're going to get me a ticket? Fuck that. They do it just to fucking talk to you.
I want the FBI to know who we are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's below, what are the Proud Boys? Are they terrorists? Are they considered a terrorist organization?
I think they knocked them back down.
Whatever below that is.
You're just right below that.
Yeah, you want to be on the board going, who are these guys?
We want to be on a corkboard somewhere in Jersey and having some low-level FBI agent go, let's keep tabs on them. Right. The YouTube views are growing. No, but my whole thing was, listen, send in the shit. If you like it, we'll give you some money. We'll give you a few $100, $500, whatever, if we use it.
Right.
And then some lunatic guy starts messaging me, goes, I've been ripped off by many podcasts. Kumi has made thousands of dollars selling my shirts. I'm like, dude,
stop giving them shirts.
If you've been ripped off by even one podcast, it's probably your fault, but let alone multiple ones. So I'm like, dude, I'm not going to take the art. This art was for the Apple podcast shit, for the thumbnail, whatever it is. It was not to put on shirts and sell and never compensate the artist. But again, of course, we have to,
if it's your your brand, your little icon, I mean, that's worth a few bits.
Yeah, you get a few bucks. Yeah. I would absolutely pay for that. But the shirts I'm going to sell will have quotes.
Oh, right.
That's the things I've said, more so than like the, whatever.
I tried to sell.
Ray Kump is with us, by the way. I didn't introduce you.
Glad to be back. They know who I am. The new people.
The new people. We've gone up, so a lot of people don't know who you are.
Right. Should I say hello to Mr. Never mind.
To who? Who are you going to say hello to?
Your friend.
Who's my friend?
Mr.
Rogan? You think that's how you're going to get on the show?
I don't. Well, what am I going to do in the show? Talk about how I used to fucking.
So you don't want to get on the show?
I mean, I'll come on.
Because you're very hostile for a minute. You're like, what am I going to do on the show?
No, but you're acting.
What am I going to do?
I'm acknowledging that you're hanging out with a better class of people.
Listen to me. What am I going to go fly to California, wasting my goddamn time sitting on that fucking show? It's ridiculous.
If Rogan wants to ask me about how he used to take people's skin and put it on my hands, the fingerprint, the morgue, I had to put their skin on my hand. Like, he loved that shit.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if somehow you had the most controversial Rogan? Like it wasn't Alex Jones. Right. Like YouTube throws him off, just gets rid of millions in ad rev because of you. Yeah. Because you're describing some crime you committed at the morgue.
It wasn't a crime. This was a procedure. This was a method I used. Yeah. Look, we were respectful to these bodies. We didn't fuck these bodies.
Most people That sounded like something that Robert Mueller would say. Most people don't know this, but Ray, who did the show for 2.5 years with me, was a photographer at a Long Island morgue.
Right.
And then moved into other activities at your job. The scope of your job was enlarged.
Well, look, that first of all, that was part of my job.
Taking the photos.
The skin thing on the hand. Because I also had to take fingerprints. That was my job. But yes, sometimes I would clean the bodies, move the bodies on and off the x-ray table. One time they let me cut open a rib cage with a bolt cutter.
This is just fascinating.
I would milk the intestines into a cup.
Why would you milk the intestines?
Have you ever milked intestines?
No.
See?
I'm not against it.
I'm all for trying new experiences. I've never, left the country. I didn't go into an airplane until I was 34.
Right.
But, I did milk an intestine into a deli cup.
You did cut open a rib cage with bolt cutters.
Exactly.
Which was not technically what you were not hired to do that.
Right. No, look, if LeBron James is playing basketball, he's a power forward. He can't get a rebound.
That I don't know if that is a fitting analogy.
Maybe not.
That is really not the most fitting analogy.
No, I play all positions. Is my point.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. I would love for you to go on Joe's show and then discuss your career.
Sure.
At the morgue, which has ended tragically.
Also the mosquito lab, but yeah,
and then they moved to the mosquito lab.
Yeah,
interesting.
But my point,
when you talk about the dark side of Long Island,
right?
Which for us is the really only side. I mean, there's other sides to other, the seafood's good, but the rest of it, you've as somebody that worked at the morgue, you just saw.
Oh yeah,
the MS-13 body machetes, in the bodies, the drunks, the heroin ODs,
dead kid and the guy fucked to death with a tree branch in the ass.
Right.
The
dead babies.
Dead baby in the freezer in the garbage bag on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Dead baby in the freezer in a garbage bag on Christmas Eve.
He was frozen solid. We couldn't cut him open until Christmas.
Yeah.
Overnight, let him thaw out.
And you had to cut him open on Christmas.
I didn't do that one. That was
a real Johnny Cash song.
They wouldn't let me, do extra stuff.
You really had to thaw baby out overnight on Christmas?
Yeah.
Really?
I wasn't there with one of those fucking, heat lamps, but we left him in an area that wasn't refrigerated. And the next day, I was working Christmas that year. So what am I going to tell you? So we come in and on Christmas Day, we fucking had to cut open the kid.
So this is Christmas. Wow. Well, this is why me and Ray initially became friends, because I found these stories fascinating. The comedy industry did not.
No.
Networks did not. Like as my stories, they did not really.
They like the bagel guy.
They love, yeah. Well,
I've seen you do a lot worse than the bagel guy, but
I thought he was tame.
Yeah.
I thought that bagel guy was pretty tame.
He didn't threaten anyone's life.
Dude, I told the story last week on this show. I was in a Taco Bell, a morbidly obese woman with purple hair was screaming at the cashier going, "I'm a vegan. I just ate sour cream. Don't you think that's a fucking problem?" I asked if there was no sour cream in this, and I just ate sour cream. She goes, "I've been a vegan for almost a year." And the lady can barely understand English, the cashier. And then
her kid's in a cage somewhere.
This fat lady with the purple hair looks at me. She goes, "They don't care. This restaurant doesn't care." And I said, here's the thing people don't realize about Long Island. Point the camera in any direction, you get bagel guy. And more.
Well, I've been in situations where, because old women will be as abusive as that guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember what, 10 years ago, probably, I was in a post office, I think in Hicksville, and this old woman was berating the fucking guy behind the counter because he didn't have her package, and she's being awful. So I took it upon myself. So, "Shut up, you cunt! You get cancer! Get cancer!" I started screaming. So you have situations where you'll have people outdoing each other in public spaces, trying to one up. The bagel guy, should have had a counterpart, the guy beat him up, so I guess that counts. But usually it doesn't get physical.
I wish that had been a fat woman.
Yeah.
Like a fat female bus driver.
Against me?
Against Bagel Guy.
Right, yeah.
Just went in there and laid him out. If you need, go get a potato and put a Marlboro Light in its mouth and watch that and then press play on your phone.